Hey, YouTube! I'm finally back. I'm here to discuss the books that I read in February and also the books that I'd like to get to in the month of March. Let's go. First up, for the physical books that I read in February, I read Skin of the Sea and Soul of the Deep. These were fantastic. I really enjoyed this duology. I loved that it was just two books. It's a nice, quick series that you can pick up, get into, and finish. Our main character, Simi, that we follow in Skin of the Sea, is Mamiwata, and she is responsible as a mermaid of guiding the souls of those who pass Violet Sea, especially those who are stolen from their homes to be taken into slavery back home for their final journey. And then Simi ends up actually saving someone instead of just guiding their soul home. So now she has to undo the mistake that she's made, and it leads us on this really incredible adventure. And I truly enjoyed the writing. I loved the aspect of the mermaids with the combination of West African mythology. I also really enjoyed listening to the audio for these as well, because it really helped with the pronunciation of things to have the proper pronunciation in my head. Natasha Bowen, excellent job. I loved this duology. Go out and read it. Next physical book that I read was Legendborn, the first in the Legendborn cycle. And I adored this book as well. It had a combination of magic with reality and UNC. And it was just such an excellent, excellent story. I really enjoy Bree as a main character. She's very strong. She's very confident in herself and wise beyond her years, kind of because she has to, because of everything that she's lived through. I truly, truly enjoyed reading her story. It was fantastic. What I also read in the month of February was The Halls of the Dead by S.M. Hallow, which is an art, comes out in August, and it was a very interesting book. It was set in the 1800s in England. It has queer representation and magic and fighting against the powers that be to just do what it is that you need to do in order to be happy and survive. I really enjoyed it. The beginning is a little bit difficult to get through. It felt kind of like I was dropped into the middle of a sequel of a series. But once I got through that beginning part, story was a lot more easy to read and very, very well done. And then last but certainly not least, I listened to the audio because it's fantastic by Sound Booth Theater of The Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook, the third book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I adore this series. There are not enough good things that I could say about this series. Anyone who will listen, I have told them that they need to listen to, read, absorb this series in some way. If that's by osmosis, you lay all the books out and you just lay down on them, sure, go for it. As long as you know the story I'm talking about. Princess Donut, Mongo, Carl, they're my dream team. It's amazing. It was a really good month. I don't have any books that I wouldn't recommend to someone. And I consider that a win. So now let's dive into my March hopeful. First up for my physical books. These are all left over from my February hopefuls. It is what it is. I bit off more than I could chew. It's okay. So I want to finish reading Bloodmarked and then finish the cycle with Oathbound. And then the other trilogy that I'm going to get into is Children of Blood and Bone, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and Children of Anguish and Anarchy, all by Tomi Adeyemi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, unless it's Tommy Adeyemi, but let me know. For my ebooks, I have two that I definitely need to get to. The first being Dating After the End of the World, which is my mom's book club pick that I chose, so definitely have to read it. And then an arc that is by Poppy Alexander, called How to Find Romance in a Bookshop, which I'm very excited to read. I wanted to pick at least two more ebooks. I actually chose a bunch. So I chose Shifted by Danielle Cancel, which means I'll also be reading Transformed by Danielle Cancel. And then the other book that I chose is part of a mafia romance series that I have on my Kindle. I'm going to be reading From Dusk to Dawn, Savage Temptation, and Bound by Deception, all by Stephanie Amaral. Those are the first 3 books in her mafia romance series. I will be reading the rest probably in April. I don't think I'm going to get to all of them in March. So that is my wrap up for February and my hopefuls for March. I don't expect me to get all of those books read, but I like having a nice list to choose from. It just feels less overwhelming than all the other books that I have that I would like to read. So let me know what you most enjoyed reading in February, and let me know what you're most looking forward to reading in March. And happy reading. See you next time.